Shut up and sit down.
Hey, welcome everybody to, is this episode 10?
It is double digits.
Double digits. Good stuff. We made it.
Guys.
Hey guys, this is Josh. The recording might sound a little bit different. We're recording from my computer's microphone. It's me, Josh, and our boy Kyle.
It's that Sly guy. What up, guys?
There we go. Mario's working tonight, so he's working hard for the money.
He's gonna be the $1 million champ one day, you know.
Yeah.
He's
Sure.
got to get there.
There we go.
He's gonna buy the title because he's not ever gonna get it from me legitimately.
Oh, geez, still talking about that. Hey guys, so this week we're gonna, of course, cover Raw, give you some news, cover SmackDown, and of course, Realest Guys Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter, Realest Guys PC. You can find us on Facebook, Realest Guys Podcast. You can subscribe on YouTube. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, wherever you can find us, we're there. And most importantly,
We have our own website.
we have our own website.
It's legit. We hired this amazing web developer.
Yeah, he is amazing. Yes.
He's pretty awesome. I think he goes by the name Too Good.
Too good.
Too Good.
True that.
He is too good.
Yep.
At least when it comes to development.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I could get better. But anyway, moving on. All right, so let's break it open here. We had Enzo and Cass kicked off Raw this week.
You had the little opening with, yeah, okay, yeah, Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, Enzo and Cass. Start talking the mess.
I was confused because Raw did that weird thing this week where they became a normal television show, and they gave us that really weird recap voice.
Last week on Raw.
And then they went into their,
Pretty much.
yeah. So it was weird.
So Enzo started talking trash, talking about Chris Bon Jericho. Is that what he called him?
Chris Bon Jericho. That's what it was. I was trying to remember that earlier. I was dying when I watched that, and then I couldn't remember what he said.
Yeah. So they did their little spiel with just talking trash. Enzo's entertaining as all get out. Chris Jericho comes out, saying pretty much Enzo is nothing without his 7-foot tall friend.
The only reason you're still in the WWE is because when your mouth makes a mess, you have a 7-foot maid to clean it up.
Boom.
I actually enjoyed Jericho talking, and I haven't enjoyed Jericho talking in years.
I mean, he just constantly proves that he's one of the, probably, for my opinion, one of the greatest of all time.
I mean, he is. He's been old to me for a long time.
Yeah.
But this feud with Enzo has him on another level.
It's kind of like probably sparked something in him.
Yeah.
I think promo-wise.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, so he brings out Kevin Owens, which is...
That was Kevin Owens? I thought that was his imaginary friend. Jeremy McMuffin filter fucking...
Sorry, children. This is, you just...
I didn't say anything wrong. I guess it sounded like I said. I'm just saying syllables.
So, yeah, I don't know. It was his imaginary friend, Uncle Hunky Dory Franklin.
But he looked
Roosevelt.
a lot like Bay.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is Bay.
I hate that word.
Not to anybody here, because Mario's not with us today. But
Nope. Not Bay to me. Ever.
No,
Anyway.
never.
So Kevin Owens comes out. They get in the ring. They all get face to face with each other. Big old stare downs. And
the stare down between Jericho and Cass, though, when Kevin Owens is like, and if I don't beat you up, Chris will beat you up.
yeah, and his favorite expression, that's right. I'm going to beat you up.
And he's staring down Big Cass, and then he does the, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. You're looking right at me.
Right.
No, I'm looking at him.
Exactly.
I loved it. It was beautiful.
It was awesome.
There was some really
there
good
you go with the
chemistry
beautiful
in
again.
It was phenomenal. It was beautiful. It was amazing. There was great chemistry in the ring between the four of them.
It was fun to watch, and you had Jericho do his whole it thing. You will get it. I don't know what it.
I don't know what it is. But
Neither either. But it is whatever it is fun. So they ended up having they went later on. It was booked for a tag team match later on.
So they had the match. It was Jericho against Enzo, and then Kevin Owens grabs Enzo's leg, causing Chris Jericho to hit
Mario's
the code
normally
breaker.
in this spot. He's the commissioner of Raw. He normally breaks down Raw.
Let's watch Raw. That's the B show. Why would we watch?
Hey,
okay, I watched it.
I'm neutral. But still, anyway, yeah, they had the match.
I like how they booked it. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens get the dirty win.
Yeah. It was solid.
Big Cass knocks Chris Jericho's head off with the big boot. So
there you go.
I like it.
So next you had the little segment with Sasha Banks, Stephanie McMahon. Sasha's wanting to have a handicap match at SummerSlam with Dana Brooke and Charlotte, and then Mick Foley's like, let's not do that. So pretty much she has a match with Dana Brooke announced for later. And then you had a squash. Braun Strowman fights Jorel Nelson.
We thought the episodes right before the draft were fillers.
Yeah.
But they're just filling Braun Strowman up with all of the no-names that they keep feeding him.
Hey, man, it's classic wrestling.
Yeah, it's...
Get them to jobbers, build them up.
Me and Mario had this talk about gimmicks. I'm not big on gimmicks anymore. So I think like the Ascension are very gimmicky, Vaudevillain are very gimmicky, and I don't really care for those tag teams because it takes me back to that time before the Attitude Era, and it kind of feels like a regression. This feels the same way. Like, you can make Braun Strowman look good and still kind of feed him, but feed him legitimate superstars. Legitimate wrestlers. Not these guys that this is their one claim to fame in WWE.
I also think, too, with the brand split, though, the rosters are a lot smaller, and you have these... Almost every superstar has a chance to make a name for themselves, and everyone's working towards that. So if you really feed them to Braun Strowman, who they're trying to push really hard right now, it's kind of moves in the wrong direction for whatever superstar that's going to be. So I think the jobbers work. We
never know. We got the Hardys out of jobbers.
Yeah, and sometimes and really gimmicks they can work. They really can. However, they have ceilings.
Yeah.
Unless they start to break out of that gimmick. And so, it really is like the Vaudevillains, they'll have a ceiling. You have the Los Matadores, the 15th iteration of what's their names again?
Carlito's brother and cousin?
Yep.
That's what I remember.
No matter what, they have a ceiling.
Yeah.
And so, they do, but they come in handy. I think it's still entertaining. So
I agree. They can be super entertaining. I want to see something new and different, and gimmicks feel very 94.
I got you. I think that part of the gimmicks though is part of entertainment, part of wrestling. That's never going to go away.
But I do love like the hype bros. That gimmick that it's gimmicky, and it's a gimmicky that feels real.
And I can't stand them.
They're the hype bros. So it's like it's a gimmick. Neither of them are really like Mojo's really like that in real life. But it feels like, they could be college frat guys, and that's how they actually act.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's not Kane as a dentist. It's not the Ascension as this outer worldly demolition crew.
Yeah, and the thing is, they can still do a lot with the Ascension.
Yeah.
So
I have high hopes. I think as a team, they're great. I'm not big on their gimmick.
Yeah. I don't want to get too much into that, because I think they're on
yeah.
your show. Is that right?
They are on my show.
Right.
That's why I want to talk to them about them. I'll talk
Fair
to
enough.
them, too.
Talk to him, yeah. So, and then you had another squash. Darren Young defeats Titus O'Neil.
I don't know if that's a squash, though, as much.
Not squash. I'm sorry, not squash.
You get Titus O'Neil beating Darren Young last week.
I didn't mean squash.
Yeah.
I'm just talking a match that I don't care about. But, whatever. I was really liking Titus O'Neil for a little bit, and the aggressiveness that they were putting towards him. So
I liked it as an aggressive face. Like, I still loved Titus O'Neil. He was still that guy that I wanted to cheer for. But with everything that they're doing with Backlund and, like, Titus O'Neil putting his hands on Backlund last week and Darren Young having to come to I feel like they're getting ready to maybe turn him heel.
Yeah.
Which I
wouldn't
think he
mind.
could be a great heel.
Yeah.
I love Titus O'Neil. As a person outside of the ring, he does so much for charity and for everything that the WWE is part of. So I want to cheer for him as much as
No, fair enough.
I can.
No, Seth Rollins came out, had his promo after that, pretty much finding out or saying who he thinks Finn Balor is. And later on, Finn Balor ended up having a response later. But Seth Rollins pretty much I'm the man, you're a copycat. We'll see who the better man is. Pretty much, sort of deal.
Yeah, it was
one of the highlights of the night for me was the Cesaro and Sheamus match.
Yeah,
that match was awesome.
Yeah, I still think I know just because of injury, and Cesaro's got to be one of the best workers in WWE right now.
Right.
And I hope that he gets, even if it's, hey, Tyson Kidd, maybe he doesn't come back, but if he does, they get the tag team back together and they make a run on tag championships again.
It could.
But I love Cesaro.
Yeah.
I hope something big comes up today.
Well, this match in particular was great. There's a new, I don't know if you follow Mick Foley on Facebook at all, but he's as, I would suggest it. Anyone who's listening, I would suggest go follow Mick Foley. He's probably as transparent as he possibly could be.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that he spoke to Sheamus, and Sheamus felt he had a kind of a reinvigorated or fire in him. And it showed in that match. Another thing, same post with Mick Foley. Mick Foley apologized on Facebook, stating that he did not watch this match live. And so he did not give them credit, or them both credit for this match later on when he showed up with Daniel Bryan, or else he would have said something. But just Mick Foley's transparency, wanting to please the fans, wanting to make sure the talent is treated as well as possible.
Oh, that's Facebook, not Twitter?
That's Facebook.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, great match. Definitely worth going to see. Next match, Sin Cara and Neville teamed up to face the Dudley Boys. I'm glad to see Neville back.
I am so glad to see he's what keeps me watching Raw at this point, because
really,
I love Neville. I want him to be a SmackDown guy. I drafted him relatively high in our mock draft. I think Neville has one of the highest upsides there is in WWE right now.
Yeah, he's. I could foresee him probably being the first cruiserweight champion on the show. And we've talked about it a few times. I really wish it wasn't Sin Cara. I wish it was Kalisto.
Kalisto and Neville, they tagged for a little bit, didn't they?
I don't remember.
In NXT I want to say I've heard about them tagging before, but
they've competed together in the Indies under Pac and Samurai Del Sol. And those names.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was competition, but the two of them are elite super athletes when it comes to just...
They're just exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I just wish it was Kalisto on the show.
Sin Cara's like 230. He's way over.
Yeah, he doesn't compliment very well.
He's overweight for the Cruiserweight Classic, Cruiserweight division at least.
So anyway, they get the win over the Dudley Boys, who recently re-signed another contract with WWE. So
nice.
They really like their role. They had a little spat there where Devon took out Bubba Ray, clotheslined him, and so who knows? There might be some sort of rift there.
It's not a show we talk about often on here, but TNA, Devon and Bully Ray, they had some great feuds after they split in TNA. Before Bully Ray came out as the leader of Aces and Eights, the Bullet Club TNA version.
Yeah.
So they had some great feuds before and feuds. So it's fun, especially it's always fun to watch a tag team that you've known for years and seen together for years kind of go at it. Hardy Boys have done that multiple times.
Yeah, and I think if WWE can get the Bully Ray version of Bubba, he can be the top heel
Oh,
of
easy.
Raw. It just give him a chance. I mean, Devon can definitely make his own singles, but when Bubba was Bully Ray, I mean, he definitely took his career to another level.
Yeah.
And next, you had the ceremony, replication of the wedding ceremony for Rusev and Lana, to celebrate. And my boy comes out, Roman Reigns.
Your boy. Oh, that's right. You're a Reigns fan.
Yeah, and I didn't like it. I didn't. It almost reminded me of the Sovereign Succotash Roman Reigns that we had, and just trying to be funny. And I'm all about Roman Reigns just going in there and kicking butt. And so anyway, on his face ended up in cake, and that was the end of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen Lana look better than when she's covered in cake. Mostly because she wasn't talking that much. She was just kind of standing there and shouting.
How bad is her accent getting?
It's getting... I think the Florida State is coming out in her, because wasn't she like an FSU grad, grew up in North Carolina?
That's definitely not...
She's
mean...
nowhere near Russian.
So, I mean, she might be able to speak Russian. It's just the accent's terrible.
Yeah.
Always has, always will be.
It's getting worse, though. You are correct.
Yeah. Well, our next thing, Sasha Banks got her match with Dana Brooke, and if she lost, it's going to be a handicap match at SummerSlam. Sure enough, of course she didn't lose.
No handicap match.
No,
but the other stipulation was if she won, Dana Brooks is banned from ringside at SummerSlam.
There we go.
So, because she won, no Dana Brooks at SummerSlam.
Thank God.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Just because Dana Brooks isn't by the ring doesn't mean somebody else won't be. So
fair enough.
I think Charlotte may still have some underhanded tactics coming out, but that was about it for that one.
Yeah, it's true. Following that, Finn Balor had his promo, his backstage promo, what his name means, and it was pretty cool. They had little mythical tales of giants and monsters and things like that. So it's entertaining.
Do we get the demon at SummerSlam?
We're getting the demon at SummerSlam.
We're getting
Oh, for sure.
I just wanted to hear somebody else say those words and it not just be my head.
And his 15-minute entrance.
But
it's all
I actually
good.
really love Finn Balor's entrance.
It's great.
His entrance is entertaining.
You get those entrances very few times.
Yeah.
And are entertaining. I mean, look at The Undertaker. Look at The Undertaker. Has extremely long entrance, and but it's so captivating, so entertaining, and totally awesome. So anyway, when I look at Finn Balor's entrance, it reminds me of kind of the mystique of The Undertaker's entrance.
Definitely. I mean, they're not going to give him the name the Demon without having something special happening at that moment. I'm really looking forward to WrestleMania this year. I think he gets a higher bill on the card, and I hope we get an amazing entrance out of him.
Yeah, it's going to be dope.
Because, I mean, honestly, WrestleMania is a lot about the entrances for me, because a lot of those matches we've seen over and over again, but it's the mystique of its WrestleMania. Everything is bigger and better.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, too. Well, next we have Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. They had their little doctors backstage, kind of few different
the
items.
The bald bad guys, the bald bad crew.
Ring post-itis
Ring
is what they did. They had a few jokes here making fun of Big E and his predicament.
The Domes. Kofi Kingston and Xavier had that promo backstage about the bald bad guys, the bald bad crew, whatever they were calling it. They were cracking up about the baldies.
Chrome Dome. So Luke Gallows defeats Kofi Kingston in their match. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Not too much.
Man, the club is looking pretty dominant, though.
Yeah, but we have a history of, I agree, we talked about it, was it last week we talked about New Day has the record now, so maybe we do see somebody come in and take the belts. But we also know WWE has a history of using the build up to the match to book one team really strong, and then have the other team win, or opponent, whatever it is, if it's a singles match or tag team. But whoever wins leading into the pay-per-view doesn't win the pay-per-view. That's the history. So they're booking the club strong right now against New Day. That doesn't necessarily mean that we get the club victory at SummerSlam.
True. So Mick Foley comes out with Daniel Bryan. I thought that was pretty pointless. That whole thing. I'm okay with the Randy Orton Brock Lesnar meshing of the two brands. I'm okay with that because that's part of SummerSlam. They're on two separate shows, but there was really no need for Daniel Bryan to be on Raw.
Yeah, we understand. We talked about it last week. If a pay-per-view is coming up where the brands are going to combine for a pay-per-view, we're going to get a little bit of spillover. As a fan, I want a little bit of spillover. I want that kind of build-up, something to get me hype. I'm not going to get hype watching Raw people talk while they're on Raw, and SmackDown people talk while they're on SmackDown, but never actually come face-to-face.
Yeah, but based on the content of the segment, it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
It was, so there was really no point to it because especially what it ended up being. So I'm not a huge fan if it doesn't have a purpose. There's no other matches that are like inter-promotional on the show. So if it was Randy Orton or if it was Brock Lesnar themselves, fine. But Daniel Bryan being there didn't make any sense to me. But what concluded the night though was a United States Championship match.
We had a championship match.
And
who was the opponent though?
What?
What
do you mean?
The opponent for the championship match.
Oh yeah, Cesaro.
Cesaro.
Yeah, I thought you were just being cray.
No, I was talking about the fact that he had just had a super physical match against Sheamus. So yeah, Cesaro has a shot at the U.S. title.
And we knew that Rusev wasn't going to drop the title.
No, yeah, of course he's got to.
But
against Reigns.
Still a good match. At the end, Reigns gets the last laugh with his spear, and then walks away. Give me that Reigns.
I love that Reigns.
Give me that Reigns.
I can cheer for that Reigns all day.
I don't want I don't want the Reigns that comes out and wants to be the best man at somebody's wedding ceremony.
Yeah,
I don't.
No. I don't want the Reigns that comes out and says hi. I literally just come out,
spear
beat
somebody
up, and then leave. Yeah.
I got you. Fair enough. I can dig it.
I want it to be...
But that was pretty much Raw. There wasn't a whole lot. There wasn't a whole lot to Raw this week.
There wasn't.
Wasn't a huge fan of it.
I had one of our fans that listens to the show on a regular basis come by the place that I work and tell me before I'd gotten to see Raw that I should get ready for that cherry pie filling. Because it felt kind of like a filler episode, kind of like we were getting before the draft.
Yeah, it was definitely that. It was
really fun to have somebody that watches the show make
a reference,
make references to the
for sure.
So, yeah.
It's pretty cool. So with that being said, we go to the returning segment for Josh's News Corner. All right. That's it. No news. I'm just kidding.
Never news. It's all old.
I'm just kidding. Okay, it's my segment now.
It's my segment now.
This week, I only have 3 letters for you, and it's CWC.
Oh, I was hoping it was RVD.
Okay. Nope.
No.
CWC. The WWE Cruiserweight Classic has been putting on a clinic of wrestling matches. This week, Kota Ibushi and Cedric Alexander killed the show.
I have not gotten to see this week yet, but just the fact that it's Kota Ibushi and Cedric Alexander, I'm hyped. I'm ready for.
No, they killed it, man. Even the first match of that, Grand Metalik versus Tajiri, that was an amazing match. So you got the show's like 45 minutes. You have 2 matches on there, both quality. You need to go watch it. You need to.
And where would you watch that at?
On the WWE Network for only
$9.99.
There's your plug. All right, moving on. Do you remember a guy named Sandow?
I remember a Mizdow.
Oh. Well, Sandow Mania is definitely making an impact.
Ooh, making an impact.
An impact. See what I did there?
I didn't even know this news.
Yes.
I see what you did there. I caught up to it
Boom!
on the fly.
Sandow's with TNA.
Wow. That's actually a reason for me to turn TNA on.
Yep.
I haven't turned TNA on in.
If you can get past the
A long
opening
time.
segments of Bobby Lashley promos,
Is
It might
Bobby
be-
Lashley still the cruiserweight? The X Division
I don't
champion.
know. I can't stomach that show.
I just think it's crazy that a dude that's like 275 is the X Division.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like that show. I don't.
I
But
do
Sandow.
like Sandow though.
Sandow is definitely a valuable addition to their roster.
He is.
So anyway, yeah, Sandow definitely is making an impact for TNA, as he will be on Impact. That was my joke. If you missed it.
Yeah. So it's all right to not laugh at home. Nobody typically laughs here for his jokes.
Yeah, true that. Moving on. So we have another. Lesnar doesn't play well with others. Imagine that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Lesnar doesn't play well with others. Reason why,
That's a shock.
if you recently listened to Stone Cold's podcast or watched it on the WWE Network for only $9.99 a month, Dean Ambrose made some comments about their WrestleMania match, of how he had quite a few suggestions for the match, and Lesnar didn't want to do any of them. He stated that Lesnar was lazy, and so they went out to the match not knowing what they were doing, and his ideas were shot down.
I mean, we've always heard things like this with Lesnar. Lesnar doesn't pull his punches well. He actually goes out trying to hurt people a lot of times. He doesn't play well. We've heard multiple times in multiple cases of Lesnar doesn't pregame. He goes on the fly. He doesn't pregame at all for these matches. And especially when you're working with the new era, the next generation of wrestlers, they're doing some stuff that you gotta know beforehand is going on.
Yeah.
So it's gonna end up getting somebody hurt in the future if this continues.
Yeah, well, I have an update for that too, because Dave Meltzer noted that apparently at that WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar knew he was going to be fighting at UFC 200, and so the rumor is that he did not want to do anything that would potentially injure him, and so therefore definitely that could be a valid reason, but still, it's news nonetheless.
Yeah, it is news.
Moving on to my last bit of news. I don't know if you're familiar with the guy, The Rock.
Who?
The Rock.
Oh, Roman Reigns' cousin.
Kind of. They're all,
cousins.
Yeah.
Somehow.
even though they're not blood related.
None of them are related. But
It's all good.
I think Nia Jackson's related.
I think so.
I think she's actually a cousin.
Possibly. So anyway, The Rock, there's some news, some entertainment news. Him and Vin Diesel are not getting along on the Fast 8 set.
Man.
Yeah, so pretty much they're wrapping up. Today's Thursday. They're actually supposed to be wrapping up production today. But Vin Diesel and The Rock had some beef. And a lot of people were taking The Rock's side because they're saying Vin Diesel was showing up late. He wasn't being professional. He was kind of picking apart everybody's acting. So anyway, it made it difficult to be around. And so I don't know if you saw The Rock's Instagram, but he put a picture on Instagram, and he says, some male co-stars conduct themselves as stand-up men and true professionals. Others don't. He stated that the ones that don't are too chicken beep to do anything about it. Anyway, Candy beep. Candy, asses, I guess, isn't that
Wow.
kind of a
Yeah,
word.
I guess not.
But anyway, so
Could we potentially get a Rock Vin Diesel match? That would be sick.
that would be.
It won't happen.
that kind of happened in the movies already.
No, but I want like a full length like WrestleMania once in a lifetime match that comes back 3 years.
That's like just as bad as having Big Show versus Shaquille O'Neal. Like that will never happen. But apparently they tried to squash their beef, but didn't. So they still hate each other.
Hey,
Stirring the pot.
it's all right. I hate both of them as act. No, I'm just playing. I love both of
Yeah,
them.
they're
I love the Fast and the Furious movies.
So, but anyway, that
Long-term.
wraps up Josh's News Corner.
All right, so SmackDown.
Smacketh down.
Smack if down. We get the pre-opening segment. I'm gonna call it that because it was before SmackDown officially started. We get Randy Orton and Alberto Del Rio coming at each other with the one RKO to Viperville, and it's a long and dangerous ride with a hard ending. And well, see if you can do it with a broken arm. We have this whole thing going on between the two of them that leads to a match later on in the night. And then you get the actual opening segment of the Wyatt family coming out to the ring, and Dean Ambrose walking out and, getting kind of in their face, getting ready to tell them what's what. And you have Dolph Ziggler in full ring attire come running out and just jump in head first, ready to go. And in the whole ordeal, Bray Wyatt sets up Dean Ambrose up for a Sister Abigail. Dolph Ziggler comes in to try to save the day with the super kick, and Bray Wyatt throws Dean's head in the way. And he hits Dean with the super kick.
And boom. And lights out.
Yeah, basically. That was basically it for the opening segment. And then you get the backstage between Ambrose and Ziggler, where Ambrose is, "You owe me one. What the heck was that? Like, why would you do that?" Which, of course, leads to a tag team match. And I love Daniel Bryan here with the little bit of pent-up aggression towards Dolph for what happened last week. And he's, you know what? And if you two don't like it, Dolph, kind of like you told me last week, screw you.
A little spicy.
A little spicy. Daniel Bryan, I like having him back. He's fun. So we go from there to the world's greatest tag team. I knew that if there was a camera and y'all could see Josh's face right now. No, not the fake world's greatest tag team that we had years ago. The actual.
Yeah, they're probably my favorite tag team. Actual wrestlers right now. American Alpha's on point.
American Alpha, and they get fed. They get fed.
Yeah, like Braun Strowman.
They're looking big against a couple of no-namers. But the interesting thing is what's going on during the match. So they get ready to start the match, and I think it was Ascension first comes out.
Something. Yeah.
And then the Vaudevillains come out, and then the Hype Bros come out, and it almost looks like an old school lumberjack match because you have these tag teams surrounding the ring.
But it wasn't a lumberjack.
It wasn't.
I'm just gonna sit here and watch the match.
I'm gonna watch y'all because American Alpha has kind of stated and made a case for themselves as the top of the tag team division on SmackDown. Yeah, for sure. So the other teams come out and watch the match, and after American Alpha gets a very fast win, the other teams climb up, and we have everybody go at it. Hype Brothers are in there, Ascension's in there, American Alpha, Vaudevillains, they're all fighting, no discrimination. As long as you're not hitting your own tag team partner, you're good. Hit somebody. And then everybody gets thrown out of the ring, and American Alpha is standing tall.
There you go.
And they end it big. They look good. And it leads us to...
Speaking of looking good... I'm just kidding.
Anyways. Leads us to the match that we all wanted to see last week. But we didn't, because her leg was injured.
You say last week?
Last week. Yeah, we wanted to see it last week.
The last kicker.
We get to see Becky Lynch versus Eva Marie. Maybe. I didn't really see Becky Lynch versus Eva Marie. I saw more of Eva Marie than I wanted to. But much like last week, Eva Marie has something happen that takes her out of the capability to fight. This week it was a wardrobe malfunction. Her top just legitimately unbuckled itself and fell. So Eva Marie goes to the back and we get Becky Lynch, and she is mad.
Well, before we go there, I know a lot of people are like irritated with Eva Marie, and here's the thing: is that's actually perfect for her character.
It is, and honestly, I'd much rather see Eva Marie not fight.
I mean, and really, it gives her, adds more heat to her already character that no one likes.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's kind of the point, right? Of heels is to make you not like them.
You want them to be hated.
Yeah, and so there you go. I don't think WWE is oblivious to what people think about Eva Marie, and I think that what's been happening is a perfect example. And but yeah, no, I think it works what they're doing right now.
Yeah. Either they're cheering you or they're booing you. Either way, you're getting a reaction.
Yeah.
So
the last kicker was mad.
The last kicker was mad and ready to kick some ass. She wanted a fight. She's a competitor. She steps into the ring every night, ready to go. And she was not going to the back without a match. So she called out the women's division on SmackDown. She said anybody who wants, anybody.
All three people.
Anybody who wants to fight, y'all come on out. We get it going right now. And we get a in-ring debut. We get Alexa Bliss, recently called up from NXT in the draft. She shows up and she's ready to go. We get an actually decent match.
Yeah.
I think Alexa Bliss is a talented young wrestler, and we all know how I feel about Becky Lynch. Forget Kevin Owens. Becky Lynch is bae. You don't have to hate that word when I say it about Becky. But yeah, so we get a decent match. It ends a little weird with Eva Marie coming back out, top ready.
Yeah.
Everything. I didn't get that ending.
It was to distract Becky Lynch, and Alexa got her W.
She got her W. And I get it. Alexa's kind of a heel character in NXT. Eva Marie is a heel character. Last kicker is obviously a face.
Yeah.
So they're gonna pull stuff like that. But it just, there's other ways that Bliss could have gotten over in a dirty way still, that didn't have to almost look like they were pairing the two of them off. Because I don't think that would be good for Bliss, and that's kind of what it felt like when.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I think it was more Eva Marie just getting at Becky Lynch to just kind of increase her heat with Becky Lynch. I think we might be looking at a Eva Marie Becky Lynch match at SummerSlam.
Gosh, I hope not. Becky Lynch deserves to fight somebody that knows what they're doing in the ring.
Yeah, I agree.
But going on from there, we get Randy Orton, Alberto Del Rio. That match that was the pre-opening segment. That match that, see if you can RKO me with a broken arm. And actually, we get a good couple of segments in here, little pieces. We get the catapult into the bottom rope from Randy Orton. That was a nice little. We get the arm bar on the ropes.
Yeah.
Can't submit Orton, but you can do a lot of damage. And right as Alberto Del Rio is about to pick up the win, the thing that's never seen but always coming, the RKO out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Hashtag.
Yeah. Beat towards the back. Let everybody see it. Hashtag RKO out of nowhere. But we all saw it coming. So Randy picks up the win. They're not going to let Alberto beat him going into SummerSlam against Brock. So
yeah, and there's also probably some word about some heat with Alberto Del Rio again, and they're talking about he might be leaving the company in the fall.
Yeah.
When his contract is up.
Yeah.
The guy never interested me, so
yeah. I know he's big everywhere else he's been, but he's
stale,
same.
dude.
Yeah, he's never really been. He has some charisma, but he also has the charisma that I feel like anybody could have. I feel like you could give anybody that kind of physique and that kind of training, and they're gonna have the same kind of potential. So we get a little segment with the Miz being back, cutting promos.
Yeah, with Scooby-Doo and advertising the movie and all that fun stuff.
It was basically just a commercial.
Yay.
But then we get the match everybody's been waiting for. we get the match. Heath Slater fighting his way back onto the roster.
That's right.
Fighting the underdog, kind of like Josh. And he's fighting Rhino. And he actually looked good. He looked good in the match until Rhino hit him with the gore.
Yeah.
But,
Man, Heath, I keep saying it, Heath has all the tools to be successful. And so I hope something really does come of it.
Yeah.
He came up with the loss, but they were going to offer him a contract.
Yeah, so he loses, as you referenced, after Rhino gores. But then he goes backstage and he starts yelling, and I've got to feed my 7 kids. It was 2, now it's 5 and 7 and 13. I don't know how many kids he actually has, but apparently he's got to feed them still.
Yep.
And he doesn't have a job.
He got chitlins.
So he's yelling and he's upset, and he's telling Shane O'Mac and Daniel Bryan that he doesn't even want to be here anyway. It's not good enough for him. Like, all this stuff. And then he walks off. And Shane McMahon looks down at the contract in his hand and closes it and says, well, I guess he's not signing this today then. So they were going to offer him a contract, and he kind of yelled his way out of it.
Yeah.
So, it's a good little segment. It's funny. Obviously, he still has a contract with the WWE. He's gonna end up somewhere. But I like this little segment that they've been running with him.
Yeah, me too.
We get... Is it the in-ring... It is the in-ring debut of Carmella on the main roster.
Yeah.
And we get her with Natalya. It was a fun match. I don't like Carmella on the main roster doing her Carmella spiel without Enzo and Cass.
It doesn't fit, dude.
It does make it,
and that's not connecting with people.
It made sense in NXT when Enzo and Cass moved up and Carmella was left by herself.
She still had a connection
because
from
everybody
Enzo.
knew.
Yeah.
But there's a big population of WWE fans that don't watch NXT. My parents included.
Well, even still, I watch NXT and I'm looking at her entrance, and it's rather uncomfortable to watch.
It is. I agree, and I watched NXT as well, and I love Carmella. I loved her in NXT. She has a lot of potential. I think she's charismatic, but it just doesn't connect.
They need to get her on Raw, dude.
They do, and
it won't happen.
Maybe we get some trades here soon. I mean, if it's a draft, they're their own brands. Maybe we get some trades. Cesaro wants to be on SmackDown. Carmella needs to be on Raw.
Yeah.
Maybe we get some stuff working out here. But she does get the win over Natalya.
Yep.
Big win for her, especially in a debut. I really like that submission that she does.
Yeah.
That triangle choke from the side where she does the back bend and grabs her leg. That's a cool looking submission.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't actually do much, but it looks cool. And that's what's important when it comes to submissions and finishers in WWE. So we go from there to the main event. The big dogs, the Wyatt family versus Dean and Dolph. So we get a good match. We get Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose against the Wyatt families. Dolph Ziggler and Dean obviously come up with the win. One, they're the champ and the number one contender. You kind of got to book them strong. But yeah, there were some good spots.
Yep.
The zigzag on Rowan? It's always cool to see a little guy do that big flying move where he's up in the air and lands it's completely unbelievable. It's like when Kalisto jumps up in the air and grabs him in the headlock and sits there for 5 seconds and then hits him with the DDT. It's entertaining, but it's never believable that you actually did this to a 6'5" guy.
Yeah.
So that's SmackDown.
Yeah, and don't forget the Dirty Deeds at the end.
Oh.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose.
You're right.
Hit Ziggler with the Dirty Deeds.
It's only fair.
Yes.
Ziggler hits
Get payback.
Ambrose with whether it's intentional or not, he hits him with the super kick. Dean doesn't care whether it was intentional or not. He's going to get the last word. So you have the Dirty Deeds to end SmackDown, and that was this week in WWE so far. Yeah,
so far. And again, if you haven't watched the Cruiserweight Classic, go watch the Cruiserweight Classic this week. You will not be disappointed, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
This week we actually didn't have a favorites segment favorite segments chosen.
Yeah.
Like, so, what your favorite something is. So, if I can think off the top of my head,
Okay. Think.
it's summertime.
Okay.
Something to do with summer.
Summer.
Yeah, so, well, let's say, what is your favorite summer memory? Let's do that.
Favorite summer memory.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's a good one. I mean, my family used to take family vacation, like get-togethers where all of my family would get together. My mom is one of 5 kids, so we would have all of my aunts and uncles and cousins, and we would go off to Port Aransas, Corpus Christi area for for a week.
Nice.
And those were always fun. So it's probably got to be one of those like moments.
Some good family time.
Good family time. Pool, beach, fried seafood, lots of fried seafood.
Nice.
So yeah, it's probably got to be my favorite summer memory. Is definitely not Summer Rae, so it's got to be one of those.
There we go. There we go. Mine would one that comes to my head is my family used to do vacations also.
Yeah.
And when I lived in California, one year we went to Palm Springs, California, and it was just beautiful. Stayed in a little hotel next to a pool. My uncle was there. He got so sunburnt that, I mean, he literally had like blisters on his. It was bad. But yeah, we went on some vacations as well during summertime. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That was like a really favorite segment. But next week I think we'll have
a good one next week.
Hey, also, if you actually have some ideas for some favorite segments that we can do,
I'm gonna shout out next week's favorite segment now.
let's do it.
And I want people to tweet what their favorite is before the show, so we can read out some tweets. Maybe get some.
Dope.
I want to be able to interact. So next week, favorite tag team. We've done favorite superstar.
There we go.
We've done favorite belts. Let's get favorite tag team of all time.
I like it. Next week, favorite tag team. So when this gets put on, we're on YouTube, we're on iTunes, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Let us know what your favorite tag team is. We'll go ahead and give you a shout out on the next show. But again, this is Josh, Too Good, Crocker with Kyle, the Sly Guy, Sylvester, and you can catch us next week.
Yeah. So like, share, subscribe,
Holla.
all that stuff.
There we
if
go.
you haven't done it yet, there's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out.
Kyle's gonna spell it this week. What?
SAWFT.
Soft. Later, guys. See you next week.